So you said you sold one policy, then you dropped out of school. You quit your job too?
Yes.
Yes. Anyone around you give you any shit like, Kayla, what are you doing? This is crazy, or was everyone supportive?
Actually, my parents were the most supportive people.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were like, Kayla, if you see the vision in this, we got your back 100.
Okay.
Do what you can do.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out, go back to school. But you're young, try it, see if it works.
Got it. And how is it going? Because you didn't really have a sales background, right? I mean, you sold a little bit at the other company, but you're in school. You're at Buffalo Wild Wings. What was it like getting into sales for the first time, for real?
I would say it was a little challenging at first.
Okay.
I did see a lot of success very quickly.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like it's a mental toughness game.
Absolutely.
Getting, hung up after time after time after time, it sometimes will take a toll on you.
Yeah.
So I would say it's just you just have to be mental.
What was the biggest challenge early on for you?
I would say making sales consistently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Why? You weren't consistent in the beginning?
No, I was not.
Was it work ethic? Was it mindset? What was it?
I would say it was not work ethic, not mindset. It was the structure of my calls.
Okay.
So once I got the structure of my calls down and I knew what I was saying, I was confident in what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's when I started to make sales consistently every single day.
Got it. Before you had that structure down, what would happen on the call?
It's like, it just was everywhere. I'd be like, hey, this is Kayla. Then I'm talking about prices as soon. I'm like, you got to build value, girl.
Right. So, that don't work. Yeah. How long did that go on before you kind of figured it out?
I want to say about a month.
Okay. So pretty quick.
Yes.
What was your activity like at that point? Like, because everyone, there's a learning curve for everyone. And I always say it's a matter of, do you want to make that learning curve short or long, right? And it just comes down to how much work you're going to put in. What was your schedule like day one? Like, how many appointments were you running a day?
I would say I wasn't running, I was about 10 appointments probably.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wasn't really running many appointments, but I made about, I want to say 800 to 1,000 dials.
Got it.
Yeah, single dials.
And you were doing telesales?
Yes.
And were you doing one call close or setting up appointments?
One call close.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were a lot of activity, but just about 10 or so appointments a day.
Yes.
Of those 10, how many would you close early on?
I would say about one.
Really? What were you thinking at that point? Because, you left your job, you left school, you had this kind of dream of doing this one thing. Then you're here, and now you're like, I'm meeting with 10 people and only closing one. Was it still more money than what you were making at Buffalo?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, but it didn't stop me. I just saw it as like a push forward. A setback is always a push forward. You know? So when I didn't make a sale, I didn't go home and was like, okay, like this isn't for me. No, I just worked hard.
Yeah. And were you in the office?
So we had moved down to Texas, actually.
Okay.
Because my upline, he went down to Texas, and then, we don't really change upline. So I went down to Texas with him.
Really?
For about 3 months, 3 to 4 months.
What was that like?
It was crazy. I'd never been to Texas before.
Yeah.
And, that's when people were calling me a little crazy, because it's like, hold on, you're dropping out of school and going to Texas?
Okay, so they were supporting you, but now like, wait a minute, what are you doing?
Yeah. So that was like the line there. But I was like, I see the vision. I just know I can do it. Like, I believe in myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they had an office in Texas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How important is that? Because, when I got a license 15 years ago, it was all in office. We were out in the home. We didn't have telesales. And now it's a completely different ballgame. Like, you could join us and never even meet the person you're working with face-to-face, right? Like, that's just how we're set up now. But how important was it for you to get to that office every day?
It's so important because the energy is just transferable throughout the whole office. So if everyone's in a good energy, then everyone's making sales.
Right.
And you want to be surrounded by that.
Yeah.
So it's very important.
And especially early on when you're closing 1 out of 10, like, how much does it help to know that, maybe it's Stanley or someone right next door that's closing at a higher level?
Yeah, it works. It works. Like my upline, he was closing I want to say 5 to 10K a day. I was like, well.
Wow.
Okay, if you can do it, like I said, I can do it.
Right. And that always stuck with you, that mindset.
Yes.
Yeah. It's funny because when I went to my first convention, it was 2009. It was down in Dallas, Texas, different company. And Andrew Taylor.
Yes.
Right. So I see Andrew Taylor on. He's a few years younger than me. At the time, he's like probably 20 years old. And they're like, this kid used to bag groceries and he made 6 figures last year selling insurance. And the same thing you said, I'm like, wait a minute. That kid right there, like, I love Andrew. I'm like, he made $100,000 selling life insurance, and he used to bag groceries. I mean, I used to bag groceries, shit. But I'm like, if he can do it, why can't I?
There we go.
Right? But let me ask you this, though. Do you think anybody could do this?
Yes.
You do. Why?
I do think everyone could do it. It just comes down to your mindset.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Like, I've seen people come from terrible, shitty situations,
Yeah.
okay, if I'm just being quite frankly honest, and they have turned it around and made something out of this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have the mindset to do it, you can do it.
What stops the people that don't have success then?
I'm telling you, it's that confidence and mindset.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I think that anyone could, but everybody won't. Right? Like I would say it's not easy, but it's simple.
I always say that.
Right? Like
I
it is
always
though.
say that.
It's not easy,
Yes.
It's a grind.
Yeah.
But it ain't rocket science.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're calling people up that ask for help and you find something that fits their needs and budget.